She wanted to carry her ex's baby. He froze the accounts and walked away. Betrayal, surrogate, revenge, karma, the dinner that destroyed a marriage and the comeback nobody saw coming. Hey guys, James here. Grab a drink, get comfy, because this story starts in the most normal, boring American way possible, and ends up in places I never thought I'd be. So it's a random Tuesday night, nothing special. Me and my wife Ava, 6 years married, 8 together, decide to hit up Olive Garden because, let's be real, unlimited breadsticks and that salad with the pepperoncini. Sometimes that's exactly what you need after a long day. We're sitting there, laughing about some dumb TikTok I showed her in the car, stealing bites off each other's plates like we always did, normal couple stuff. I'm thinking life's pretty damn good. I've got a solid job as a senior accountant. She's killing it as a marketing coordinator at this hot startup downtown. We're talking about finally taking that Alaska cruise we kept putting off. Everything felt on track. Then the server drops off the second basket of breadsticks, and Ava puts her fork down, looks me dead in the eyes, and goes, "Babe, I've made a decision. I'm going to be a surrogate." For Garrett and his wife, I swear the background noise just vanished, like someone hit mute on the entire restaurant. I blinked. Forced a smile because my brain was still trying to catch up. I'm like, wait, Garrett? Garrett. Like college ex-boyfriend, baseball cap backward. I'll never settle down. Garrett? She nods, totally calm, dipping a breadstick in Alfredo sauce like she just told me she signed up for a spin class. Yeah, him and Melissa have been trying for years. She has some medical thing, can't carry a pregnancy. They're desperate. I offered to help. I set my water glass down so carefully the ice barely even clinked. My hand was shaking, but I didn't want her to see it yet. I go, "So, let me make sure I'm hearing this right. You offered to carry your ex-boyfriend's baby for 9 months, and this is the first I'm hearing about it?" She actually laughs a little, like I'm being dramatic. "It's not his baby, James. It's theirs. IVF, their embryo, I'm just the carrier. It's clinical. Totally normal. People do it all the time. Clinical. Normal. All the time." Those 3 phrases just kept bouncing around my skull while she kept talking. Apparently she ran into them at Whole Foods the week before. Random aisle 6 reunion. They got coffee, caught up, and Garrett and Melissa poured their hearts out. All the failed cycles, the miscarriages, the savings they blew on fertility treatments. Ava said she felt this punch in the gut, like she had to do something. So she offered, right there in the coffee shop. And never once thought to mention it to her husband until now. I asked the question I already knew the answer to. "When exactly did you decide this was happening?" "Last week," she says, shrugging. "I didn't want to bring it up until I was sure. Didn't want to bring it up until she was sure." I just stared at her. This woman I thought I knew inside and out. Blonde hair always perfect. Green eyes that used to make me stupid. Laugh that could light up a room. Everyone said we were couple goals. And now she is sitting here telling me she is gone nah grow another dude-ass kid because she felt like she had to help. I tried, guys. I really did. I kept my voice low, didn't want to make a scene with families and old ladies all around us. "So you offered your body, 9 months of your life, hormones, stretch marks, doctor visits, everything, to your ex. Without even a heads up to the guy you're married to?" Her smile faded a little. "I'm giving you a heads up now. No, Ava, you're informing me. There's a huge difference." That's when the mask slipped. She got that tone, the one she used when she thought I was being unreasonable about something small. "James, come on, I knew you'd act like this. You're being insecure. This is a beautiful thing. I'm helping 2 people who are suffering become parents. Beautiful. Helping 2 people she loves." She actually said that. People I love. I felt my stomach drop into my shoes. I asked, when he thanked you for offering to carry his kid for free, how grateful did he look exactly? Because last I checked, paid surrogates make 60-70 grand plus expenses. That's a hell of a gift you just handed your ex. Her face hardened. "It's not about money. No, it's about you getting to play savior while I sit here like an idiot and smile about it." The table went dead quiet. Even the server did that awkward hover then bail thing. She grabbed her purse, stood up, eyes shiny. "I thought you'd be the bigger person." Clearly I was wrong, and just like that she walked out. Left me with 2 half-eaten plates of pasta and a basket of cold breadsticks. I sat there another 10 minutes, eating mechanically, tasting nothing. Paid the bill, walked to my car, sat in the parking lot, and just stared at the dashboard. 8 years of my life, 6 of them with a ring on her finger. And in one casual dinner conversation, she decided our marriage came second to whatever hero complex she was chasing with her ex. That's when I knew I wasn't going home tonight. I drove straight to my brother Kyle's house, showed up at 9 p.m. with a 30 rack of Coors Light and a story that made him drop his phone. She offered to do what? Yeah, that was the exact moment the old James, the laid-back, conflict-avoiding, let's just keep the peace James, died in an Olive Garden parking lot in suburban Seattle. And the new James? He was about to play the longest, coldest game of chess of his life. Smash like if you've ever had a dinner that turned your whole world upside down. So I'm in my car in the Olive Garden parking lot, engine running, staring at the steering wheel like it owes me money. My phone's blowing up. Ava texting, "Where are you? Can we talk?" "You're overreacting." I turned it face down and drove straight to my brother Kyle's place in Bellevue. Pulled up at 9:15 with a 30 rack of Coors Light and a look on my face that made him open the door before I even knocked. Kyle's 2 years older, freshly divorced himself, turned his garage into this man cave with a kegerator, a 75-inch TV, and a couch that has seen some things. Perfect war room. I walk in, crack 2 beers, hand him one, and just let it rip. "Dude, Ava just told me she's gonna be a surrogate for her college ex-boyfriend. Over breadsticks. Didn't ask me. Just decided." Kyle literally choked on his beer. "Garrett? The dude who cheated on her with a sorority girl senior year, Garrett? The very same. She's gonna carry his kid? Their embryo, technically. But yeah, 9 months. For free." He stared at me for a solid 5 seconds, then said the sentence that changed everything. "Bro, what are you gonna do?" See, that's the moment most guys would have driven home, yelled, cried, begged, tried to fix it. That's the old James. Old James would have done anything to keep the peace. New James looked Kyle dead in the eye and said, "I'm divorcing her. But I am doing it so clean she wouldn't see it coming until it's already over." Kyle raised an eyebrow. "You've thought about this already?" On the drive here, I made a list. I pulled out my phone, opened notes, and started reading out loud like a psycho. Monday, 8 a.m., call Serafina Davidson. Best divorce attorney in the state. You used her. Booked. Freeze every single joint account before Ava wakes up and drains them for lawyer fees or baby shopping. We had 3 accounts. Checking, savings, investments. Roughly 80 grand total. 6 of it was the inheritance Dad left me last year that I stupidly put in joint instead of keeping separate. Not making that mistake twice. Call HR first thing and yank Ava off my company health insurance. Effective immediately. Why? Because prenatal care, delivery, all that. Tens of thousands. Not my kid. Not my bill. Take a personal day Monday, get the papers filed, have her served at work so she can't dodge it. Kyle just kept blinking. You're scary calm right now. Calm is what happens when you realize you've been a doormat for 8 years and you're finally done. We killed half the case of beer while I explained every step. I told him how any joint account holder can freeze the accounts unilaterally in Washington if divorce is in process. Did the research in the parking lot on my phone. I told him how removing a spouse from insurance is 100% legal the second papers are filed. I told him I wasn't doing this to be cruel. I was doing it to survive. Kyle finally leaned back, cracked another beer, and said the truest thing anyone said to me that whole year. "Bro, if you fight her fair, she's gonna paint you as the jealous husband who blocked a selfless act. The internet will eat you alive. Her friends will dogpile. You'll be the villain. But if you protect yourself first and let her feel the consequences, nobody can call you the bad guy. They'll just call it karma." I slept on his couch that night. Ignored 17 texts and 4 missed calls from Ava. The last text came in at 11:58 p.m. "I'm sorry I sprung it on you. I handled it wrong. Please come home so we can talk like adults." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I turned my phone off, rolled over, and went to sleep. Monday morning, I woke up at 6:30, showered, put on the darkest suit. I owned like I was going to a funeral because I kind of was. And by 8:05 a.m., I was sitting in Serafina Davidson's office downtown. She's this tiny woman, maybe 5'12", but when she walks into a room, you feel the temperature drop 5 degrees. I told her everything. She didn't flinch once. "Here's what's going to happen, James," she said, already typing. "We file today. I'll have the petition ready in an hour. We serve her at her office at 2 p.m. sharp. Same day you freeze the accounts and cancel the insurance. By the time she gets the envelope, It'll already be too late to move money or fight the insurance drop. She'd be legally locked out before she finishes reading page 1. I asked the only question that still scared me. Can she fight this? Serafina smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. She can fight. But she'd be fighting with no money, no health insurance, and a fertility clinic that's about to find out her home life just exploded. Most clinics won't move forward with a transfer if the surrogate is in active divorce. Too much liability. I wrote her a $5,000 retainer check on the spot. Money I worked my ass off for. Money I was now spending to end my marriage because my wife thought surrogacy for the ex was a casual Tuesday topic. By noon, the divorce was officially filed. By 2:15, Ava was served at her desk in front of her coworkers. By 3 o'clock, every dollar we had together was frozen. By 4 o'clock, she was off my insurance. By 5 o'clock, my phone was on fire. I let it ring. At 7:02 p.m., Kyle texts me. Dude, they're here. All 3 of them. I walked to the front door, and there was Ava, eyes swollen from crying, standing on the porch between Garrett and Melissa like some kind of messed up family Christmas card. That's when round 2 started. Drop a like if you've ever had a night where you went from heartbroken to ice cold in under 24 hours. So it's Monday night. About 7 p.m., I've just finished turning my wife's financial world into a brick wall in less than 12 hours. I'm sitting on Kyle's couch in sweatpants, eating cold pizza, feeling weirdly calm, like the storm finally hit and I'm in the eye of it. Then Kyle looks out the window and goes, James, you're not gonna believe this shit. I walk to the door, peek through the blinds, and my stomach drops. There they are, all 3 of them. Ava in the middle, eyes puffy, mascara streaks down her cheeks. Garrett on her left, still tall, still built like the college pitcher he used to be, wearing that same concerned hero face he'd probably practiced in the mirror. Melissa on the right, tiny brunette, clutching a tissue like she's at a funeral. They look like the cover of a Lifetime movie titled, "We Didn't Mean to Destroy Your Marriage." Kyle opens the door before I can stop him and yells over his shoulder, James, your fan club's here. I step out onto the porch. The porch light is one of those flickering LED bulbs, so everyone looks extra dramatic. Ava speaks first, voice shaky. James, can we please talk? Just 5 minutes. I lean against the doorframe, arms crossed. Anything you have to say goes through Serafina Davidson now. Garrett actually steps forward like he's the peacemaker. Look, man, I think this has all been blown out of proportion. I cut him off so fast his head snapped back. Garrett, let me make one thing crystal clear. You are the last human being on this planet who gets to talk to me about my marriage. You accepted my wife's offer to grow your kid without even asking if her husband was cool with it. That's not a misunderstanding. That's disrespect with a capital D. He opened his mouth, closed it, smartest thing he did all year. Melissa tries next, soft little voice. We honestly thought you knew. Ava kept saying you guys were on the same page. I laughed. Couldn't help it. She lied to you too. Congrats, you're not special. Ava's crying harder now. I didn't lie. I really thought you'd come around. I thought you loved me enough to... Love you enough to what, Ava? Watch you get fat with your ex's baby while I pay the bills? Smile for the Christmas card that says Uncle James on it? That's not love. That's being a doormat with health insurance. Then she hit me with the line that still echoes in my head sometimes. The embryo transfer is scheduled for Wednesday morning. We've already paid the clinic 20 grand. If I cancel now, we lose everything. I just stared at her. 20 grand, non-refundable. 2 days away. Garrett, bless his tiny brain, actually tries to de-escalate. We don't have to do it, seriously. We can find another surrogate. We can adopt. I don't want this to end your marriage. And that's when I saw it. Clear as day. Ava's eyes flicked to him when he said that, not to me, to him. There was this tiny, almost invisible moment of panic, like someone just threatened to take her favorite toy away. That panic told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't doing this for them. She was doing it because she wanted to. I took one step back toward the door. You've got a choice to make, Ava. You can cancel Wednesday and maybe save what's left of us. Or you can walk into that clinic and lose me for good. But you don't get both. She opened her mouth, closed it, looked at Garrett, looked at Melissa, then back at me, and didn't say a word. That silence? That was her answer. Garrett tried one more time. Ava, come on, we can. She cut him off with the smallest shake of her head. I laughed again, colder this time. There it is. Decision made. Ava finally found her voice, all tears and anger. You're the one destroying everything. I was trying to do something good. No, I said, stepping inside. You were trying to do something that made you feel like a hero while I footed the bill and smiled. That's not good. That's selfish. I shut the door. Locked it. Leaned my back against it and just listened. Through the wood I heard her start sobbing. Big ugly cries. Heard Garrett murmuring, "It's okay, it's okay." Heard Melissa whisper yelling, "This is insane. We never should have." Then the sound of 3 sets of footsteps walking away. Tires on gravel, a car door slamming, engine fading into the night. Kyle was standing in the hallway holding 2 fresh beers, handed me one without a word. I took a long pull and said the sentence that still feels true years later. She's still doing it Wednesday. I can feel it. Kyle nodded slow. And you're still divorcing her? Faster now. Because in that moment on the porch when she couldn't even pretend to pick me over the fantasy, something inside me switched off. The part that still hoped she'd choose us? Dead. Gone. Buried right there on Kyle's welcome mat. I finished that beer in 3 swallows, crushed the can, and said, "Round 2 starts Wednesday at 11 a. When she climbs on that table. And I'm gonna be nowhere near it. Like if you've ever had that exact moment where you realize someone you love just showed you who they really are, and you believed them the first time." Okay guys, we're at the point where most people would have cracked. I didn't crack. I went colder than ever. Wednesday morning, 10:47 a.m. I'm sitting at Kyle's kitchen counter eating cereal like it is any other day, when my phone buzzes on the marble. One new text from Ava. Photo attached. She's in a paper gown, feet in stirrups, IV already in her arm. Caption. It's happening right now. Hope you're proud of yourself. I stared at that photo for maybe 10 seconds. Then I blocked her number, finished my cereal, and went to the gym. That was it. No reply, no good luck, nothing. Because at 11:02 a.m. on a random Wednesday in Seattle, my 6-year marriage officially died on a fertility clinic table. 2 hours later, while I'm on the rowing machine dripping sweat, I get a call from a blocked number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something made me pick up. "Mr. Foster? This is Leonard Baxter. I represent your wife." Already hated the sound of his voice. Smug, slow, fake concerned. He launches right in. "Your wife is currently undergoing an embryo transfer. She has 0 access to funds and has just been removed from your health insurance. She can't pay rent, groceries, or the copays that are about to hit for this very expensive pregnancy. This is, frankly, inhumane." I wiped my face with my shirt and said the sentence I de-practiced in my head for days. She has a job that pays 4-5K a year. She has 2 very motivated baby daddies who want this kid bad enough to pay 20 grand non-refundable. They can open a GoFundMe for all I care. Not my circus anymore. He tried the guilt trip. She could be pregnant as we speak. With a child that has nothing to do with your divorce. I laughed out loud in the middle of the gym. People looked. "Leonard, that embryo has everything to do with my divorce. It's the exact reason we're getting one. Tell your client actions have consequences. Tell the baby daddy too, while you're at it." Then I hung up. 10 minutes later, Garrett calls from his own cell. I answer just to hear how desperate he sounds. "James, man, please, Ava's a wreck. She's vomiting from stress. The doctor said it could affect implantation." "Then maybe," I said, cutting him off. She shouldn't have scheduled a life-altering medical procedure 2 days after her husband filed for divorce. Crazy idea. He actually started begging. "I'll pay her rent. I'll cover everything. Just unfreeze enough for her to eat and have a roof." Nah, you wanted a free surrogate. You got one. Congratulations. Enjoy the full experience. Click. I turned my phone off for the rest of the day. The next 2 weeks were a masterclass in legal chess. Serafina filed motion after motion. Emergency freeze confirmation. No temporary support. Request to fast-track financial discovery. Leonard fired back every time asking for emergency relief. Spousal maintenance. Unfreezing accounts for basic human needs. Every single motion got shot down by Judge Carolyn Pierce. This 60-year-old battle axe who looked like she eats nails for breakfast. Her ruling was 1 paragraph I still have memorized. Both parties made irreversible choices. The court will not reward unilateral life decisions with emergency bailouts. Status quo remains until final decree. Translation: Ava stays broke, stays off my insurance, and learns to live with it. Word trickled back through the grapevine. Kyle's girlfriend gives coworker gives friend of a friend. That Ava had to move out of our apartment because she couldn't cover her half of rent. Guess where she moved? Garrett and Melissa's guest room. Let that sink in. My wife is now living with her ex-boyfriend and his wife, sleeping 10 feet away from the guy whose baby she might be carrying. The universe has a sick sense of humor. 2 weeks after the transfer, I get one single text from a random number, obviously her using Melissa's phone. It worked. I'm pregnant. Thought you should know. No congratulations requested, no reply sent. I just screenshotted it, forwarded it to Serafina with the caption, Exhibit A. She doubled down and went back to work. People kept waiting for me to feel bad. Friends, coworkers, even my mom on the phone. James, she's pregnant and has nothing. Are you sure you're okay with how hard you're going? Every time I gave the same answer. She's not homeless, she's not starving. She's living with the two people who wanted this more than anything. She has exactly what she chose, and the guilt never came. Not when I pictured her crying. Not when I heard she was throwing up from stress. Not even when someone told me the clinic almost canceled the transfer because of the divorce filing. But Garrett begged and paid extra risk fees to push it through. Nothing, because every time I started to feel a pang, I remembered that photo from the clinic. Feet in stirrups. 4 in her arm. Caption, hope you're proud of yourself. She wanted me to feel like the villain. I decided to be the guy who simply refused to pay for the sequel. We're in the endgame now. If you've made it this far, buckle up. Because this is the part where the entire story flips upside down and suddenly everything I did makes perfect sense to every single person who ever called me heartless. We're about 5 months post Olive Garden. Divorce is crawling through the system, depositions are scheduled, Ava's belly is starting to show. She's living full-time with Garrett and Melissa now, playing happy little surrogate family while Serafina tears them apart on paper. I'm actually doing okay. New apartment in Capitol Hill, gym routine on lock. Even went on a couple dates that didn't make me want to jump off the Space Needle. Life was quiet. Then one random Thursday night at 9:17 p.m., my phone rings. Private number. I almost ignore it, but something says answer. Hello? James, it's Melissa, Garrett's wife. The one whose embryo was supposedly in my wife's uterus. I froze. Thought about hanging up. Curiosity won. What do you want, Melissa? She's crying, like ugly crying, nose running, can barely talk crying. I know you hate me, you have every right. But you deserve to know the truth. All of it. I sat down slow on my couch. I'm listening. Deep breath on her end, then the bomb. Ava and Garrett have been sleeping together since last spring. Before she ever offered to be our surrogate. The room spun. I gripped the phone so hard my knuckles went white. Keep talking. I found the messages 2 weeks ago. Hundreds of them. Hotel receipts. Photos. They never stopped. We ran into each other at Whole Foods and I felt bad story, total lie. They've been meeting up for months. I managed to get one word out. The baby? That's the worst part, she whispered. It's not mine. It's theirs. I felt the air leave my lungs. Melissa kept going, voice shaking. I thought we were using my egg and Garrett's sperm. That's what the paperwork said. But Garrett swapped the vials at the clinic. He paid an embryologist under the table. It's Ava's egg and his sperm. That little girl she's carrying? It's their actual biological child. They used me. They used my desperation for a family to give them the perfect cover to have a baby together. I just sat there, silent, brain on fire. She kept talking faster now, like she couldn't stop. The surrogacy was never about helping us. It was their plan from day one. Ava wanted Garrett back. He wanted her. They knew I'd never leave if a baby was involved, so they manufactured the perfect trap. And you were just collateral damage. I finally found my voice. Why are you telling me this now? Because I'm done. I filed for divorce yesterday. And I'm suing both of them for fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and breach of surrogacy contract. I have everything. The text messages, the clinic records, the payment to the embryologist, all of it. I'm taking them to the ground, James, and you deserve to know you were right about every single thing. I laughed. Couldn't help it. A real deep from the gut laugh. Melissa, thank you. I'm so sorry, she sobbed. We never should have believed her. We destroyed your marriage for a lie. You didn't destroy it, I said. She did. You were just another victim. We talked another 10 minutes. She promised to send me copies of everything for my own case. I told her to burn them down. I hung up, stared at my ceiling for 3 straight hours, replaying every moment. The casual dinner announcement, the porch confrontation, the clinic photo. Every time someone called me cruel and I felt the last tiny piece of guilt I had left evaporate into thin air. 2 months later, the story exploded across Seattle news. Surrogate scandal. Local woman faked altruism to conceal affair and have secret love child. Bellevue couple and ex-wife named in $250,000 fraud lawsuit. Fertility clinic under investigation for embryo swap. Ava's face, Garrett's face, everywhere. Comment sections were brutal. They lost their jobs within a week. Couldn't show their faces at the grocery store without getting stared at or cursed out. I watched it all unfold from my quiet little apartment. Eating takeout, sipping a beer, and feeling something I hadn't felt in almost a year. Vindication. Kyle came over the night the first article dropped, carrying a 6-pack and a grin. You see this shit? Front page, baby. He raised his bottle. To never being the crazy one, we claimed. Because every person who ever whispered James went too far suddenly went radio silent. Every friend who said, you should have been more understanding, suddenly deleted their texts. The entire city saw the receipts and realized I didn't overreact. I simply saw the truth months before anyone else bothered to look. 2 years later. I'm 36, living in a sweet 1-bedroom in Fremont. Got the promotion, dating Rebecca, kindergarten teacher. Makes killer pancakes, actually communicates like an adult. Life is good. Real good. Then one rainy Saturday, I'm at my usual coffee shop, headphones in, black coffee getting cold when the door opens. Ava walks in. Hair shorter, gray streaks, tired eyes, pushing a little pink stroller. The kid's asleep, curls everywhere. She sees me, freezes. I think she run. She doesn't. Orders the cheapest drip coffee, walks straight over. Can I sit? I pull one AirPod out. Free country, she sits. Parks the stroller beside us. This is Emma. Just turned 2, cute kid. Looks exactly like baby pictures of Ava. Long silence, rain on the windows. She finally talks, voice low. I know you know everything. Melissa made sure the whole city knows. I'm not here for forgiveness. I just need to say it to your face. I'm sorry. For the affair, the lies, the fake surrogacy, for trying to make you the villain when you saw the truth first. I was selfish and stupid, and I threw away the best man I ever had for a fantasy that turned into a prison. She keeps going, no tears this time, just facts. Garrett and I lasted 6 months after Emma. We owe Melissa $62K we'll never pay. We live in a moldy 1-bedroom in Renton, scraping by on freelance gigs. Some nights I put Emma to bed and just sit there realizing this is the life I picked over you. I sip my coffee. Let her finish. First 4 years of us were real. I loved you hard. But when he came back whispering, what if, I let the past win. I thought I could have everything. I was wrong. Then the line I'll remember forever. You were the best husband I didn't deserve. And you were right to leave. I look her dead in the eyes and say the only thing left to say, I know. She nods. Stands up, adjusts the stroller blanket. I saw your pumpkin patch pictures with Rebecca. You look happy, like actually happy. I'm glad. She starts walking out, stops at the door. Thank you for walking away when you did. You saved yourself. Door chimes. She's gone. I sit there another minute, finish my coffee, step into the rain, and smile. Because in 20 minutes, Rebecca asked meeting me for brunch, and she is already texting me memes making fun of how bad I am at parking. That's my life now. Ava got exactly what she traded everything for. She gets to live it every day. Me? I got peace. And someone who chooses me first without being asked. That's the real win, guys. Not the frozen accounts. Not the headlines. Walking away and building something better while they drown in the mess they made. So if you're watching this in your own dark moment, trust your gut, protect your peace, and keep walking. One day you won't be the one smiling in the rain while the past disappears in the rear view. Thank you for watching the whole crazy ride with me. I'm James. I'm good now. Hope you are too. Peace.